identify as your gender. I never walked into a boardroom as a woman. I walk into a boardroom as a professional. That's why I don't get intimidated by men or women. Everything you desire and everything that you want and need is already there. It's already been given to you from before you were born. Your destiny was already established. Your journey, your job from the moment that you are born is to discover who you are. Brands are not built on business. Brands are built on people. Never, ever, ever try and build a brand or build yourself around a brand. You have to build your brand around you, because it is not sustainable to try and be something that you are not.
Mrs. Swam, thank you for taking the time to be here. Very much appreciated. I want to dive right into it, right? I think the first point that I want us to dive into is finding your voice is one of the hardest things. In a time where social media can be so distracting, life can be so distracting, you almost don't know what is the right voice to listen to. And you almost don't know what your own voice sounds like. So can you tell us what was the journey of you finding your voice?
Thank you so much for that question, Slim. You know, it's a very interesting journey that I've walked. And the reason why I am able to present myself internationally, because we're not just, this is a room of beautiful people in here, but we are in an international room because we're live streaming and we are on the World Wide Web. And the reason why I'm able to sit on such platforms and talk about my brand is because of the journey that I've walked. I love this video that you guys have put together that you're playing in the background. It all started with the picture that you all know. And I wish we could freeze frame on that image, right? Like, I think most of you know that image, Elikodi Saluni Ngaufela from Hillbrow to Nigeria. I swear to God. So, so that picture is literally an image that reflects my journey. Let me take it from the beginning. So when I started out in this industry, the story is very long, so I'm going to cut it short. I was the first female to rock, it was first a brush cut on ENCA. That's where I was. It was E-News Africa. We launched a Pan-African platform. And on the day that I decided to show up to work, I'd cut off my hair because I was transitioning. I've got very rich hair. Like I had very long hair. I used to do different styles and things like that. But relax, relax has always been something that's been sold to us as Black people and Black women particularly. But though, I mean, I'm not advocating for people to not relax their hair. Me, I'm talking about my journey. I was tired of putting chemicals in my hair. And I decided to just shave off my hair, and I went to work one day. Bampita's meeting, guys. Bantwarala meeting. The executives. Bare Aneva.
For cutting your hair?
Yes, for cutting my hair because they said it didn't fit. And I'm not going to mention names, but it was a white woman who was the editor-in-chief at the time. And she said, there's no way. This is not the ethos or what the style guide. Because nebabata the weave. Yeah. So Bantarala meeting, and then I was told I was put in a meeting with men and this woman, and I must wear a wig before I go on air. I was a primetime news anchor. And I chilled and I listened to these people and I thought, like, you know, these people are panicking as if I'm having a meltdown or I'm going through a crisis. I mean, I just decided to be me. And you'd swear I dyed my hair green or something, you know? And then it took one white man. It was a white man who said, but guys, though, hold on a second. But look at her. She's beautiful.
Come on.
Yeah, shout out to him. And this is after I told them that I'm not wearing a wig. You wear a wig and you go and read the news. And I said this to the black man who was also siding with the white woman. So, cut a long story short, they gave me a chance to go on air and they said, let's see what the audience have to say about it. The reviews were amazing. And yeah, yeah, that definitely deserves a round of applause. But the most important message about this particular story is that it takes courage. Had I been thinking, I mean, look, let's be real. We also have politics of the stomach as well. I could sansa re nahanele di salary and where our next income is going to come from. I could have easily lost my job because as much as I was established, I wasn't the Masichaba that you know today. But I took a risk and I decided I'm not going to continue being who I'm not. Never. So that's where my journey began. And for you to see the picture that you saw on the video behind me, which is internationally renowned, when you look up like famous female fade, like it's, you know, guys, if I could collect my money from all these salons, I wouldn't even have time for you guys. I'd be rich. Hey now. So the most important thing to take away from this particular story is that, oh, and by the way, my agent almost dumped me because she said to me, Masichaba, you'll never get another job with no hair. You will never get another job. And guess what? That was the beginning of my career.
Jeez. I was just jumping into purpose, right? And how purpose is not a straight road, right? That there's turns here and there, there's challenges like lack of finances, there's challenges like, I think, especially when you're purpose driven, lack of support, right? Um, and for the audience at large and people at home watching, and they are like, I feel like I know my purpose, but my purpose isn't, I can't hear it, it's not loud enough, it's being drowned out by all these other voices. Do you have any advice to someone who is in that space?
Oh, this is a very important question. Start where you can. That's the most important thing. And you know, Renane, we are in a very advantaged position because we have things called Wi-Fi. You know, I love what I see with what we're doing here at AM Studios, right? Where there is an institution that actually provides a space for free where there's Wi-Fi. And even for the gents and the ladies that are afraid to come in, I always see them huddled outside here connecting to the Wi-Fi for free. So you don't have an excuse, you know? And the reason I speak about Wi-Fi is because I'm speaking about global connectivity, right? Access to resources is in the palm of your hands. It's not that you don't have access, it's that what are you doing with the access that you have? You know, because I see a lot of people, and especially young people, who spend a lot of time online, but what are they doing online? You understand? Do you understand, Owuti? You can actually excel and increase your base of knowledge more than a person who's got a degree in this life with that thing in your hands. It doesn't matter what model it is, it doesn't matter what gadget you have. If you've got a device, you can connect to the internet, the World Wide Web. Use it wisely. So that's the first thing for me, right?
Yes.
And when I speak about this, I mean that if you are an actor or an actress and you've been trying to get into the agencies and the top ones don't just take just anybody.
Yes.
Then just do a monologue. It's called a monologue, where you write a script for yourself, do a 30-second thing, a 1-minute thing, put it on social media. How do you think Justin Bieber was discovered? He was discovered on social media. You understand? I love what I see nowadays. If you are an ENCA, I mean, there's a young lady who's trending who had submitted her, I don't know if she submitted it, but she used her social media to create an audition for top billing. What's her name?
Oh, wow.
Who? Oh, Mazeleni. Oh,
Yes.
my goodness. Yes. And now she was trending on Twitter. Trending on Twitter. And she's
Yes.
still trending because she used her social media to basically put her craft on her platforms and to get herself out there. She didn't wait for SABC to come to her.
Yes.
But
Yes.
SABC will come to her if they're smart.
Oof, 100%, 100%. And just jumping into social media a little bit now. Um, I mean, you have a massive following, right, on social media. And I can imagine that that can be sometimes a little bit overwhelming, right? It can be difficult for people that are on here and want to maximize social media to say, okay, but they're afraid that their followers are not enough, right? And I think that's when you enter the game of consistency, right? And consistency is when no one is watching, right? Can you think of a time where you had to be consistent, right, in something and nobody's watching? Do you have a story maybe where you are going through often a transition and you have to be consistent and nobody's watching? And what was the outcome of that or the learning from that?
Oh, so batla re trend eh, jwale. Batla ho kenya mathateng. So the first thing is, I'm going to break it down into two. The first thing is about the social media following. My number one advice is stop chasing followers. Let people follow you. I don't have a huge following because of I went out of my way to get followers. Honestly, I didn't. I opened an Instagram account. I was new to the space. I didn't even know how it worked at the time. People started following me because they loved what I brought to the world, the value that I was adding. And before I knew it, honestly, I wasn't even watching how many followers I had. It's other people who were like, oh, every time they see my profile, you've got this many followers. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I was not even trying. All I was doing was being myself and living my highest expression and doing what I was meant to do on this earth. You understand? So my advice would be, do you, boo. Stop thinking about followers. Your tribe will find you and success will follow you. And the next thing, when you speak about a life story in terms of my journey with consistency, I am consistently me. It took a long time for me to find that voice because, you know, I suffered from imposter syndrome. How many of you know about imposter syndrome? Right? I suffered from imposter syndrome, feeling like, for those who don't know what that is, like, feeling lucky and forgetting that you're not lucky, you're blessed. It's a gift from God. Because you are now, yes, please clap for me. It's not luck, it's a gift. So the sooner we recognize that your purpose is embedded, it's a gift from God. When you underestimate yourself, you're underestimating God. Right? The sooner you own it, the further you can get because you are crushing your own purpose and your own journey. So the importance of consistency for me is about being consistent about voting for you. Vote for yourself. And what I mean by that is that you need to wake up every single day understanding that you are not here for yourself. Yes, you are here to enjoy life. You are here to fulfill your dreams and to make money. Let's not shy away from the money conversation. If it don't make money, it don't make sense. Ne? What will sustain us is the understanding that we are part of a higher calling, right? And that's what's going to sustain you even on the days when you don't feel like getting up in the morning. I still have those days, and that's what sustains me. Knowing Hore, I know who I am, and I know whose I am. Consistency comes from knowing who you are and thank you.
Oh man, I love that. I I feel like I shouldn't even be on the stage. Should I leave you here and I can go there and sponge the information? Because that's incredible, man. I mean, I knew there would be a lot of insights, but this is amazing. It's truly, truly amazing. And with the chat of consistency and linking it to owning your voice, right? One of the things I've learned, right, being here in front of the mic, being in the industry, one of the hardest things when finding your voice and owning your voice is one, confidence, which you seem to have a whole lot of, and communication, right? I really love the story of when you met the owner or the person at Urban Brew, right? And your first link of communication wasn't how can you help me, it was how can I help you, right? Um, and I want to find out from a communication because a lot of us don't know, or a lot of people don't know how to communicate in the right way. Where do you find the way to communicate for you? The way that you are communicating is so good. It's so how is there anything that you study? Is there anything that you read? Is it self-affirmation where you stand in front of a mirror and talk and learn to communicate in a healthy way? How does one find a way to communicate the way that you're communicating?
Thank you for that, Slim. So it's all of the above.
Mm-hmm.
I am a communication strategist, amongst many other things. Clock it.
I love it.
Guys, I've learned to clock it for myself. If you don't clock it for yourself, nobody's going to clock it for you. So, in terms of communications, it's very important to immerse yourself in, first of all, study. I'm not talking about formal education, which is also important if you're blessed enough to have that, great, pursue that. I'm talking about study the people that you aspire to be like. You know, so I am the woman that I've always wanted to be. Finally. Round of applause. I am the woman that I've always wanted to be because I put in the work. I studied the women that inspired me. I'm talking about people like Lerato Mbele, Oprah Winfrey. Since I was a kid, I've just been studying these people, literally. My mom, we recently buried her in December. May her soul rest in peace.
Oh, man.
A gift that she gave me about 20 years ago was a whole entire series, Oprah's best shows, because she knew that this has been my mentor since I was a child, because I saw a seed that was in her that's in me. Wabon. So identify, we've got access to information and resources. So identify, it starts by knowing who you are in the first place. Because you won't know who to study if you don't know who you are, right? So I'm going to give you some important tools and questions, and I want you to be brave enough to answer them for me. I get, through you, Che. With your permission, we're going to be, asking you one or two questions to just get you to think and to give you an assignment that is more, because this is not a motivational talk. What Slim and I are doing here, thank you, APSA, thank you, AMP Studios, is to equip you with life tools that are going to take you forward even into, the next chapter of your life, especially. And so, with that said, I would just like to emphasize the importance of making sure that you study where you want to be, but also going back to your question about consistency, you make sure that you are consistent. It's not about how you feel. It is about what you have committed yourself in terms of the seed.
Oof, I love that. I love that. That's so powerful. Now, Sisama, you have gone from so many different jobs, right? Some we know, some we just found out. And being someone who has been in so many different spaces, what would you say is the common thread in between these jobs that you have been able to keep? To say, in this, once I use this here, I'm in another job, and this still is working for me. Whether it's communication, is there something you can identify that between these different jobs, it's the same thread that you're able to use?
Purpose. Did you see how quickly I was ready to answer that question? Purpose. Whether I was a talk show host on Power FM, hosting an award-winning, thank you, a drive time radio show on Metro FM,
Yes.
SAFM, to being a spokesperson, to a minister in the government, to opening my own beauty parlor now, Beauty by Masichaba.
Yes.
Yes, yes. You know, transitioning from national media, international media, government, business, the one thread that is the commonality, the common factor between all of these things that I've done is purpose. Because even in the beauty business, it's not about how you look, it's about how you make people feel. If you do not feel good, you will not be able to conquer this life. When you look good, you feel. Thank you.
And I love that you spoke about the business side, right? Can I ask how did that pivot happen, right? From you are an employee working for a number of different spaces, and you then say, I'm now going to dive into the beauty space. How does that happen?
Hey, very interesting question. So it came as a surprise. The transition from me coming from media, resigning from Newsroom Africa, and then Jiggy Jiggy, like a few weeks down the line, I'm launching my own beauty parlor, right? Weeks. It was a space of weeks. I think it was 4 weeks later. To be honest with you, what accelerated my decision to open the beauty parlor was the passing of my mother, because through her death, I literally learned to live, because we're living on borrowed time, right? I realized, wait, guys, we're not here forever. You can be afraid for the rest of your life, and then you're going to die afraid, and then what? So I needed to cut the cord of the existence that was toxic, that was holding me back. And I think many of you can probably relate to, you're doing something, now you're just doing it because it's money, it's an income, it's survival. But that very thing that you're doing that you're not supposed to be doing is the very thing that is sucking your lifeblood, right? And when God wants you to move, He will make the situation so uncomfortable, even painful, to the point where you have no choice. And He will use people. And God bless those people. That's why I don't mention names of individuals. Because Gabonor Asiena, Satan. Or maybe Kibudim, who's the mama? Well, I understand. Hey, so never ever give individuals any credit for your journey. Remember that God is your CEO.
And then can I ask why the beauty space?
Oh, yes. Okay, so I've always been a beautiful. I love you. You can stay. Who said that? Yes, I've always been beautiful, but I've always loved the beauty space. I've been particularly passionate about nail art. And in fact, in COVID, I bought myself an entire kit. And honestly, and this goes to talking about business and fulfilling a purpose. The reason why I bought myself the kit was because I couldn't find nail artists that could do the things I wanted to do. There are thousands, hundreds of thousands of nail technicians in South Africa and the world. There are very few nail artists. Labona manala gager. I can more. Beauty by Masichaba. Ne? So what I did was, because I'm an artist, you know, I'm a born artist, I decided to teach myself how to do it. Ne?
Wow.
Yes. And then also the second thing is that I've been in the broadcasting space for 20 years. So it's not just about journalism or storytelling or news or current affairs. It's about presentation. You know how much time I spend beautifying myself? Guys, I don't wake up like this, eh? Don't let Beyonce fool you. I woke up like this. I did not wake up like this. This is a speciality. This is a craft. This takes time. I respect you guys so much that I sat for an hour doing this makeup, looking this good. And this has been the trajectory of my career. So it's inevitable.
Love that. Absolutely love that. Now, from journalism, right, to your own business, right? These are spaces that are heavily male dominated, right? Especially the business space, right? Which I can imagine is incredibly challenging, right? Um, we are seeing a spike in a lot more women being independent, a lot more women wanting to start their own businesses, right? But they are too afraid because there's always the man that is dictating this is how it's going to go. You live by my rules, or whatever the case may be. What advice do you have navigating in the business space, navigating in the journalism space for people to be able to stand up and own not just their voice, but have the confidence to operate in a business space?
Ooh, hey, hayi ke. Maseziyakhala, masezikhala nge-loudspeaker ke manje. Having been a woman in a male-dominated industry has made me stronger. It's made me bolder. It's removed all sense of fear, and that's largely due to the fact that I was raised by men. So for me to I've spent the majority of my life in male-dominated boardrooms, studios. I mean, even most television studios, when you look around, the crew is mostly male. We need to change that. Machita, you know I love you guys, right? But we do need to change that. I get excited when I see a female camera person because I think I've only had like 2 female I'm
Yeah.
talking about commercial
Yes.
broadcasting, not podcasts, no disrespect to podcasts, but I mean like SABC, ENCA, ETV, like, big production companies. I've only had 2 female camera people. I know one very big director that I've worked with, female. So how my upbringing, it's all, I give all credence to my father and the men that raised me, because I never walked into a room, and this is a very important lesson for all the females in this room. And by the way, you've informed me that there's an interesting dynamic happening here.
Yeah.
We're seeing.
This is without a shadow of a doubt the most amount of women we've had attend a masterclass. So clearly you are doing something very, very right, and we need to keep you around.
Thank you. And thanks to you, because this is for you. You're doing this for yourselves. So how this has shaped me is that, and I want you to remember this forever, do not identify as a female. I hope this makes sense. Don't identify as your gender. I've never walked into a boardroom as a woman. I walk into a boardroom as a professional. That's why I don't get intimidated by men or women. And also, with that said, I had a very difficult time when I entered commercial radio, right? At Metro FM, I had some difficult male employees who were not used to a woman standing her ground. And if you pay attention to commercial media, radio especially, the women are the side chicks. It's just that most people don't know the structure of the studio. The person who's running the desk is usually the man. When I got there, I didn't even know how to run the desk because I didn't study radio. I studied journalism. I studied mass media. I studied broadcasting, public relations. But I literally made it a point to learn the desk. And you see how intimidating that desk is, ne? It's got like 1,000 buttons. I didn't know what to press. But I did not go on holiday. I made sure I stayed behind, because if I wanted to be treated exactly as the males and equalize myself, I'm not competing, but I want to be treated the same. Then I have to know what they know. So you take the time to inform yourself. Knowledge is power. The second thing I want to speak about is very important. This one is particularly for the females, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't happen to the males. Keep your legs closed. We work in a filthy industry. I don't know why it is the creative industry, particularly. It is a filthy industry. You will be tested. I know you want the job. I know you want to grow. I know you want to progress. But trust me, it will happen in God's time.
Oh man, clock it, right? That's the term.
I'm learning.
I love it, man. I love it, and I must say, the amount of, I think the new age kids call it aura, ne? Yeah, aura. So the amount of energy you walk into a room with, right, and the amount of just the amount of information that you have, right? I can imagine that in the male dominated space, it can be intimidating for men, sometimes, and even intimidating for men, and even intimidating for women, right? Now, this is my last question before we move onto our open session. I want to speak about confidence, right? And it's something that seems so easy to have, right? I read this thing recently that was speaking about if you are doing something that's in your purpose, then it will happen easily, right? You don't have to. A fish doesn't have to learn how to swim. A butterfly doesn't have to learn how to fly. It just does it because it's in its purpose. Which I love the fact that you're talking about purpose, and I think for you to truly harness your purpose, there's a level of conviction and confidence that you need to have. Your confidence, where does that come from?
Ooh, from
And
God.
have you always had it?
From God, I've not always had it. I've always had it, but I've not always known that I have it. I hope this makes sense. Everything you desire and everything that you want and need is already there. It's already there. It's already been given to you from before you were born. Your destiny was already established. Your journey, your job from the moment that you are born is to discover who you are. You know the term remember, the word remember. If you break it down, remember. Remember is to bring yourself back to yourself. It's not even about finding yourself. It's about remembering who you are. Right? So from the moment we come into this world, our entire life journey becomes about remembering who we are. So that's where my confidence comes from. And for those who don't know where to begin, because remember that it's easy to say, be confident. But the question is how? Yeah. So one piece of advice that I received from, oh, God bless her soul, I don't even know where she is. A lady, she was in my class in high school. Her name was Tanusha Naidu. I haven't seen her since high school, but if this gets to her, I hope it does. I used to be shy, guys. Can you believe that? No. You don't believe that? Everyone's like, nah, you shy. I used to be so shy. I couldn't even speak up in a classroom. I didn't have friends. I couldn't socialize. Well, I still don't have friends, but you don't, anyway. I couldn't socialize. I was a book nerd. During break, I had a book and I was sitting alone reading books. Story of my life. Then Tanusha Naidu came to me one time. She was like one of those annoyingly intelligent girls, kids, who would get 99.9% for mathematics, and then she'd go to the teacher and say, but my 1%. You'd be like, sit down. Tanusha Naidu came to me and said to me, Masichaba, you know, the one way you can learn to be confident, as if God sent her, you need to fake it until you make it. This is where faking it is actually a good thing. I'm giving you permission to fake it. And how this applies to confidence is that, and it's the same thing we do on radio, right? But remember, we are human beings. So when we arrive, sometimes I'm going to have a bad day. Maybe I had a fight with my partner, or maybe my kids are stressing me out. Maybe, I just had an incident on the road with someone or whatever, and I get there, or I'm just depressed, I just woke up on the wrong side of the bed. You have to psych yourself up. You need to keep an image of the person that you want to be and Pretend to be that person every day. One day you'll realize that you're not pretending anymore. This is practical advice that I used that worked for me, that Tanusha Naidu gave me. Bless her soul. Whoever knows her, shout out to her.
Oh man, incredible, incredible. Now, so Sam, I believe you have a session that you want us to do, right? Where you have questions
Yes, I do.
that
Yes, I
you
do.
want to ask the crowd at large. So, guys, we're gonna go through her session, and then afterwards we'll jump into the Q&A. Cool? All right, all right.
Thank you very much, Slim. So I want you guys to be brave. Ne? This is your opportunity. I want us to do an exercise called the mask we wear. I get. Hey, technology, Leon, and I know Drebola sometimes. So, but before we get into it, what 3 words do you want people to use when they describe you 10 years from now? The one who said, wow. Let's start with you.
Good afternoon, guys. I am Tsegofatso Zingetwa, and the 3 words that I would like to be described as 10 years from now, it's confident, kind, and God-fearing. Thank you.
Confident, kind, and God-fearing.
She's aligned to you.
I love
You
it.
guys are just aligned.
Now, the next thing that I want to ask you, since we've got you here, Tsegofatso, please keep the microphone close, right? Because trust me, I'm moving on to other questions for other people. Now, are you currently living in a way that aligns with those 3 words? And if so, how so? Uskara shaya shaya.
To be honest, I try to be kind. I'm intentional about being kind because I know that it's difficult. Just being a human being, nje kunzima, guys. And I deal with the youth every day because I'm an educator by profession, and I preach. I always tell my learners, if I'm not preaching, I am teaching or presenting.
Aish, yes, girl. Clocking it for you. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. And even though we asked Tsegofatso the question, but I want you all to reflect on that question. Take it home. I hope you made notes. Ne? This is a very important start to understanding and knowing who you are, because, you know, brands are not built on business. Brands are built on people. Never, ever, ever try and build a brand or build yourself around a brand. You have to build your brand around you, because it is not sustainable to try and be something that you are not. And then also this speaks to finding your voice. It's not about becoming someone else, it's about becoming more of who you are. Now, a big part of why we are here today is to understand that the world rewards originality, but it tests it first. I told you about how often I've been tested. Being told, my hair, you can't be looking like a boy. You can't have no hair. All the girls are wearing weaves or wigs. This is the international look. This is the standard. And I chose my own standard. And I went from doing auditions to being head-hunted. Yes. Standing out requires courage before it earns applause. What are you sacrificing to be accepted? Can we get a hand? Yes, sir, at the back with the brown cap.
I am your king of cherries and friend to the maidies, giving you nothing but the best vibes.
Woo!
So what am I sacrificing to be accepted? I'm sacrificing friendship. I'm sacrificing me literally dimming my light, because I'm never going to dim my light for other people. I'm sacrificing my loyalty towards my parents because of whatever they think of, whatever perception they have of me is not who I am. I know who I am, and I'm willing to sacrifice their perception of me to reach my goals.
Oh, wow. While I've got you standing, what did you say your name was?
My name is Isa.
Isa.
Yes.
Isa. So what are you doing? What are you doing in order to embrace who you are?
Well, I've always been doing it, is living in my truth, coming out, being LGBTQ from Dala, and being able to live out my who I truly am. From being in grade 7, I was able to stand out and just be like, this is who I am. And if you do not accept who I am, I'm willing to sacrifice our friendship. I'm willing to sacrifice my relationship with my family just because of I know who I am. I even started my own podcast, and me starting my own podcast was me just coming into my true self.
Good for you. Round of applause for Isa. And let me tell you, it's not even a sacrifice, by the way. Good riddance to? Amen. So the next question is like, who are you? Who's brave enough to answer one of these questions over here? Who are you when nobody is watching? Who knows who they are? Can somebody stand up and tell us who they are? Yes, gal. When I'm in the orange top, you look beautiful. Stand up, tell us who you are in 60 seconds.
Hi, my name is Vincentia Noctula Msimanga. I am a PR practitioner. I am a radio broadcaster. I'm an actress. I'm an entertainer. But most importantly, I am the one that anchors the confidence within you. When you see me dance, when you hear me speak, when you see me stand up in a room, when I walk in, my aura is confidence. So I am confidence.
I love it for you.
I love this so much.
So let's talk about perceptions. You know, Slim, who we think we are and who people think we are can be two completely different
not the
things,
same.
right? So this is what we need to get to. Who do you think people think you are?
Are you bringing it to me?
Yes.
I think people think I'm extroverted. I think people think I am smart. I think people think I am confident. I think people think that I have it figured out. That's what I think people think.
What do you think of him? Hi, guys. All right, can I get a show of hands? Someone who's willing to tell us who people think you are. Yes, ma'am, in the beautiful denim, please stand up.
Dumelang, my name is Lebogang Komani. We were just having a conversation with my friends here when we got here, and I was telling them that I appear as someone who is confident, and she was saying to me that, Lebo, you are confident, you are smart, you know how to articulate yourself. And I said to her, I'm actually someone who doesn't have that confidence that I appear to have. And sometimes when I am in rooms where I am expected to present myself and to speak for myself and to connect with people, I tend to become this person who is shy. That confidence just disappears, and I struggle to articulate myself, and I struggle to sell myself. And it breaks my heart so much because I am in this room. I could be selling myself. I could be going far. But here I am belittling myself, being shy, and just being unable to sell myself. And
I understand that.
I'm actually like ngwanyana o lo nang le confidence ele. And just to cut this long story short, I also mentioned to her gore, last month I was in this room with this big people. Like I was with the CEO, with the organizer of the event that I was attending, and I was supposed to ask the organizer some questions and the CEO some questions, because as an influencer, I have to interview people, talk to people, and I found myself shrinking myself and being unable to speak. And then I was just speaking gibberish. And then I was driving home. I was just beating myself up.
Lebogang, ne?
Yes.
So thank you so much for opening up and sharing, because we are all here. Round of applause for Lebogang. Every person in this room is here to grow, right? I mean, ourselves included. And
Yeah.
one of the pieces of advice that I can give you is practice. Practice daily. Take it one conversation at a time. I've been where you are, where I'm like, oh my God, I was in this room and I couldn't even speak. You just missed an opportunity. Yeah. Practice speaking your truth. Practice talking to people one person at a time. Ne? You're gonna get there. Just practice, no matter how hard it is. And it even starts with being honest. I couldn't even be honest if I didn't like something. If someone was selling me earrings, I'd end up buying things I don't even like because I'm scared to hurt your feelings. Now I'm like, this is not my style. And it's okay. But it takes practice.
Oh man, I love that. I love that. I love that. Do we have another question?
Yes, we do, definitely. So now, when we speak about finding your purpose, we're talking about what God planted in you, right? So
Yes.
now, for many people, it's okay not to know. Sometimes you're like, what did God plant inside of me? How do I know? So the question that I have is, what problem in the world bothers you so much that you cannot ignore it? Lady with the beautiful blonde braids.
My name is Joanne. I call myself Joanne Purpose because
Oh,
I
wow.
know that my voice was created to assist others. Firstly, I'd like to say I'm sorry for your loss. I know it's not very easy, but you are doing very well. And she's very happy to see you continuing in this space.
Thank you.
Okay. So for me, I think the biggest thing is actually, as Africans, actually empowering our little ones, giving them the support. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of parents in here that don't even know how to be parents. I fell in love with actually showing people, or rather kids, how to actually get their voice and actually understanding that their voice belongs to them. I'm a kindergarten teacher and an owner. So for me, I see that in each and every day. So for me, I think the most important thing is our young kids, our babies. They see what we do. So the best thing that we can do is that when they come back, we actually encourage them and say, what did you do? What did you learn? I learned this. So that also gives them the confidence to actually say, you know what, I want to run home and actually learn something. So for me, the most important thing is actually having a community that is able to assist us each and every day and actually helping the little ones, you know. So you might be an uncle, you might be an aunt, even if you're not a parent, you're a parent in some way. So even also, happy Father's Day to our fathers. Happy fathers to our uncles, happy fathers to our grandpas, everybody. You guys are doing it. You are doing it so well. Even to our moms, happy Father's Day to you.
Happy Father's Day.
So I do hope that you guys can take this little piece that the little ones, they look up to us. So help them. Even if you see they're having a little issue with maybe saying something, sit down and understand what the core issue is. It starts there, you giving them time. Because most of them want to run home and actually explain it, but they don't have that safe space. Be that safe space for them. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Powerful.
I love that.
And as we reach the end of our grilling you, no, seriously, one of the things we'd like you to reflect on as well is your gift, you know, because you know you have a gift, whether you know what it is or not. So if somebody's brave enough to tell me and Slim, what is one gift that you have, that you know you have, that you've been neglecting? Yes, ma'am, in the red top in the front.
Sanbonani. My name is Monisa, but my stage name is Miniza Skana Queen. I am a vocalist, an MC and a performer. My problem is that I have been belittling myself in the industry, and I know that I have a great voice. I know that I have to share some of my storytelling. Actually, lyrically, I have a problem of sharing me. So that is something that I struggle with. I usually like hide my talent in like performing other people's music. Like that is what I usually thought I was like good at, doing covers. But then ngisaba ukushare mina umculo wami nama lyrics wami nabantu bami.
Do you want to
Yabo,
share
so-
that with us today, or am I throwing you under the bus? Maybe this is the platform. Who knows?
No, I can do ngiyangiculela.
You got this, mama.
So ngirelease ingoma last year November, so iwena, so ngathanda ukuthi ni download if ever niyayithanda manje. So, ngabhala ngathi imizwa yami fila wena mayibona wena ifuna wena yay ingqondo yami cinga wena inhliziyo yami shayela wena
Yo! Ha!
mangilele ebusuku ngiphupha wena angifuna omunye ngifuna wena yay oh ngiphilela wena wena ngoba mayishaya shayela wena iscoop inhliziyo yami mayishaya shayela wena iscoop inhliziyo yami.
Yo! Yo!
Wow.
Oh my God, you're so good. Even the people who are meant to take the mic forgot that they were working. Focus, chief, focus.
Man, that was incredible. So I'm gonna take a bit of a leap here. I'm gonna ask if once the session is done, for having the confidence that you chose to do what you're doing, can we give you a free studio session, courtesy of AMSA? Courtesy of AMSA, give you a free recording session, right? And maybe we can speak to Tembela to see if we can shoot that, right? But that was amazing. That was truly, truly amazing.
I wanted to join Uslim or sister, the one who was singing there, Guti. I would like to produce just one song for free for her.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So you see, the devil is definitely a liar. Murimu upalabaloi. And then I don't know if you guys know who that is, but that is a multi-award-winning composer, musician, artist. Universal Music. He was signed with Sony. He's the #1 songwriter in Africa. His name is Ndete.
Shout out.
And he also happens to be my husband.
Clack it.
All right, thank you so much. I'm so proud of you for having the courage to do what you did.
We've done our questions. So anybody that wants to ask a question now, they're open to it.
All right.
Hi, my name is Ripumelo Palointombi. I'm Tsonga Kaizen Isloholo Sakale Pulan Ranocha. I am a journalist, a qualified journalist. Overall creative, I would say. I think what I would like to ask you is, how do you stand for truth, especially in the world that we live in? It is so easy to get caught up in your own beliefs and thoughts. And it's easy to go with the wind, if you will, especially when you are in certain organizations. But then how do you stand for the truth and still be the voice of the voiceless without losing self?
Ooh, that is a beautiful question. So you are right about the fact that it's easy to go with the wind. It's actually easier, because it's the easiest thing to do, especially when you work with organizations. Why do you think I've left so many jobs, guys? Honestly. So how I stand my truth, it requires a lot of courage. If there's anything I would ask you to pray for when you go to bed at night, is to pray for courage. Pray for faith. You have to trust the process. Anything that requires more of you than who you are, anything that requires you to compromise who you are, or to compromise your integrity, or to compromise your purpose, is too much of a compromise.
Yeah.
It's too expensive. Let it go. Now, it's easier said than done, because a lot of us have responsibilities, right? whether you have babies or not, I've got babies, you know, but even if not, we've got families. There's something that they call black tax. You know, we've got to look after our family members. Hey, sithwele kanzima, guys. So before you do anything, you have to think 100 times about many different people, but all that I implore you is to put yourself first. It's not being selfish. It is making sure that you have the strength, that you have the stability, and that you've got the power to make changes. You can't make changes from a position of weakness. You can't negotiate with the world from a position of weakness. You need to find your strength. You need to stand on your feet, and you need to be exactly who you were meant to be. And then you can come back into the world on your own terms. You can control your narrative, and you can own your truth.
Good afternoon to everyone. Kamala Mulinda Simelane, and I'm the founder and managing director of 1967 Media. It is a marketing and communications agency. Masichaba, you look absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. And thank you so much for being such an inspiration to all of us who are here, because we definitely made the time because we really wanted to hear what you have to say. Having lost both parents 2 years apart, navigating grief and being able to pick yourself up, I'd like to know, how have you, so recent, managed grief in between trying to live and make sure that that doesn't affect your mental health?
Thank you for that very powerful question. You said your name was? Linda. Thank you, Linda, for that question. So I recently learned a term called compartmentalizing. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't want to lie. But I've been processing the grief slowly. Because if I had to process it all at once, I don't think I would survive. So at the beginning of the journey of my mom's passing, I blocked it out, to be honest with you. I put on my soldier cap, and I had to lead, and I had to plan a funeral, and I had to comfort people. And even they were shocked. Sisi, we're supposed to be comforting you. But I had to because I needed to give my mom a dignified funeral. That's the first thing. And then now as I go, I do whatever I need to do to cope, you know. And this is just real talk, you know what I mean? If I need to have a glass of wine, I will have a glass of wine. If I need to go to sleep, I will go to sleep. If I need to pray, I will pray. But all I know is that I've reached a point where I can actually now, I can talk to her. I'm a very spiritual person, and I believe, and this is what keeps me going, that my mother didn't die, she transitioned. She's transcended. She's sitting in the lap of the Lord. She's right up there with Jesus. So I talk to my mom every day, and that gives me comfort, and I know she guides me in every step that I take.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bipelo, and I am an aspiring broadcaster. My question speaks on visibility. And you, since you said you suffered from imposter syndrome, how do you know when to trust your voice?
Oh, oh, you guys are not, ooh, wow. Hey, you said I was coming with it today. You guys are coming with it today. How do you, oh my goodness. This is a very difficult question to answer, and it's one that I'm faced with every single time I have to make a decision, whether it's got to do with a contract, whether it's about saying yes to a particular job or an opportunity where I'm required to be visible. And sometimes it's even about relationships, friendships, romantic relationships. How do you know, right? All I can tell you is that I pray about everything. Prayer is at the center of everything that I do. I don't make rash decisions. That's the first thing. So even for the biggest things that I've ever done in my life, when I received a phone call, for instance, from the former Minister of Arts and Culture, who called me, headhunted me to be his spokesperson. What? I had to ask him with respect to, can I pray about it? I didn't say, can I sleep on it? I said, can I pray about it? Because the decisions that I make are not based on my head. Your head can deceive you. That's why we're in so many wrong relationships. Many of you here need to reevaluate where you are, because you either followed your heart or you followed your head, and one of them deceived you, or you followed other things, and then one of them deceived you. So for me, I'm spirit-led about everything I do. There's no straightforward answer to that question, but to say you have to trust your voice inside, because God doesn't come down from the heavens and speak to us. God is inside of you.
So my name is Mandy Zwane, and I am a presenter, host, and MC as well. I've been hustling in this industry for the longest of times. I think it's been over 12 years now. And I just have a very important question. And I even noted it down so that I don't miss a beat. So my goal is to actually build a media brand with national impact, similar to the path that you carved for yourself, right? And looking back at your journey, what would you advise someone like me to focus on in the next 24 months to actually accelerate growth without skipping the fundamentals? Thank you.
Ooh, thank you for that question. What did you say your name was?
It's Mandy Zwane.
Mandy.
With an I.
Mandy with an I. I
Yeah.
love that. My first piece of advice would be to build your team. Because if you want to go far, you need good people around you. You actually need people who know more than you do. That's the first tip. You know, so many of us are intimidated to even be next to someone who has more knowledge about us in a certain field. How I built my brand and how I built my media business in particular, I had people who were left, front, and center around me who specialized in areas that I perhaps did not know as much about, right? Your knowledge is limited. And besides that, it is important that you focus on the things that you are strong at, right? As opposed to trying to be a jack of all trades. Because I promise you, if you look around, all these people who are doing everything and trying to be everything, you are the driver, you are the production assistant, you are the researcher, you are the PA, you are the, how far do they get? Not very far, right? Yes. So you find people who believe in your vision and people who are willing to grow with you. Because let's be honest, capital is always an issue. How do you pay people salaries? But there will always be people who are willing to grow with you so that you can build something that will eventually be profitable to everybody.
Can I just add to what Masichaba was saying around? I would add to say work. We get obsessed with a time where you need to work smart. I think, and everybody forgets to work hard. I know it sounds simple, but before you want to learn how to work smart, I advise that you work hard. Because once you work hard, you're then able to, once you're working smart, you know all the hard parts. But once you are so focused on, I just want to work smart, I want to work smart, there's all these missing things that you will not be able to know, which are the fundamentals that you're looking for. So the fundamentals are in working hard. And then once you've worked hard, you're then able to work smart.
Ooh, I love that. I love that. You actually have to earn the right to work smart. Because come to
100%.
think of it, for us to get to where we were able to work smart, we worked our ass off.
100%.
We worked hard. And we worked for almost nothing. We had to build, we had to put in the work, we had to pay our dues. And then now, because you know the game, like there's nothing you can tell me about. I mean, I started as a runner at Urban Brew Studios. I was making tea, I was labeling tapes, I was doing anything and everything. And then eventually I went from a runner to really pushing Dani and saying, give me a chance, I'm a writer. I can write these scripts. And then being a script writer, doing research, becoming a researcher, then eventually becoming a fully fledged television producer, director, the list is endless, to eventually executive producer and owning my own business, because I know everything from the floors that I had to clean all the way through to the top.
100%.
Yeah,
I
you
love
got
that.
it.
I love that.
Hi, I was Masichaba. What a beautiful woman you are.
Oh, thank you.
You're amazing.
Yes.
You know, I was sitting here and observing. I'm a person who observes a lot. So my name is Bobin Kwanatsakhani. I'm a certified neurolife coach. I'm a
Sorry, your name
mindset-
is what? Slowly, please.
Bobin Kwanatsakhani. I am a certified neurolife coach. I'm a mindset mentor, and I'm a radio host as well. In the work that I do, I tend to realize that it doesn't matter how educated you are, how talented you are, how knowledgeable you are. But as human beings, we have a limiting story or a story that was created within us, programmed when we were young or by the society or by our family, that is running on autopilot. And that story determines if we make it or not. And I'm very interested in finding out what was your story that is still running on autopilot. And as I was listening to you, even when it comes to speaking to Urban Brew owner, there was a story that was going through your head. That story is the one that actually made you get what you want. So I want to know, I'm very, very curious. I want to get deeper into your mind to find out what is that story that is running and is still running today, and you are able to achieve everything that you've always known that you deserved. And secondly, sorry for the deep questions. Secondly, I want to find out, most of the time we think we have to control the outside for us to receive what we want, but it's the internal world that actually aligns with what we want. I want to know the daily habits that you got addicted to, it's actually making you align with the things that you've ever wanted.
Those are some powerful questions.
She's definitely a neuro life coach. All right, so to answer your first question, what a question. My God, hey, I never expected it. So, we adopt our parents' habits, right? And they unknowingly poison us. Ne? They unknowingly poison us. And it's not to say our parents are monsters or to take away from their legacy, right? But they didn't know what they didn't know. And when you know better, you do better, right? That's why we must strive to be conscious parents, right? So the first thing is I realized that my mother was a very humble person, almost at fault, and also to the point where I had to redefine humility for myself. Being humble is not tolerating nonsense. Being humble is not accepting less than what you are worth. That's not humility. Being humble is not allowing people to take advantage of you or to take you for granted. That's not humility. And being humble is certainly not playing with your bag, right? So I think because I was raised by a woman who would take the shirt off her back, I've seen her do it. I mean, there's a time when a woman complimented her on something she was wearing and she took it off and gave it to her. That was my mom. So, and people don't reciprocate, generally speaking. But I don't expect people to be like you. So one of the things I realized I had to shake off, it's actually two things. That's the first thing, was my definition of humility, because I'm the person who grew up always putting other people first to the point where I struggle to buy anything for myself. If I have money, I'm going to think about the people around me first. My kids, my family, you understand? And it almost feels like a sin, like I'm doing something wrong when I'm actually spending money on myself. I still struggle with that today. So guys, when you see me and you got money, please spoil me.
I love it. I love it.
And then the second thing as well, which I've had to learn, I've had to learn this absolutely the hard way, is when I talk about not playing with your bag, you need to understand your value and not be afraid. Don't be afraid. Guys, we come from a generation where our parents would be, as long as you had a job, just like, understand? So I had to understand, you've got to be able to look someone boldly in the face and tell them your price and be able to say thank you, but no thank you. So thank you for that question. I hope I answered it. There was another one.
The other one was the daily habits. Nah?
Oh, yes.
So what daily habits
So my daily habits that I started applying that really helped me was daily affirmations, where I would type or write even. You can even write with a pen and put it wherever you see it when you wake up in the morning, right? And my affirmation was, every day, in every way, it's getting better and better.
Every day, in every way. I love that.
Hi, everyone. Igama lam ndinguNezi Somoko, but you can call me Miss Naz.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't have a question. I just want to send a shout out to M Studios and Absa and to you, Mother of the Nation, for for making time for us. I feel like these are such important opportunities. We need these opportunities, and M Studios and Absa are giving these opportunities to us for free. I don't have a question, guys. I feel like everyone has covered the questions that I have, but I want to say this is such a great opportunity for us, and thank you very much for making time, because we need such opportunities.
Beautiful. Masichaba, this has been one of the most impactful masterclasses that we have had, right? I think we always aim that people leave the masterclass with the right tools, and these tools can be AI tools or whatever the case may be. But I think you've breathed life into so many people here today, and that doesn't just happen. You're not lying when you say you're a spiritual person. I think we can feel that in the room. Thank you for all the information. Thank you for the insights. I think it was an incredible masterclass. Lastly, thank you to you guys and ladies for showing up early and taking the time to be here and asking questions that don't just affect you, but affect the people around you, right? And really wanting to grow. Thank you so much. I think this was an incredible session. From M Studios, we want to say thank you for coming here. We want to say thank you for respecting yourself. We want to say thank you for chasing your dream. Continue to chase your dream. Continue to fail forward. And like that lady said, be or move with delusional faith. We are M Studios, and we are out.